Hey everyone, welcome to this book review for Boundaries by Henry Cloud. Now this is a very interesting book because I've never had a problem with people going past my boundaries. However, after reading this book, I realized that, maybe I should put some boundaries. Maybe that I could have a better experience, a better life if I was able to put boundaries, say no to certain people and things so that I can focus on what matters most. And I think that this book was really about that. And first of all, before I get into the review, I think that it's interesting that this book was actually written by a doctor, right? Dr. Cloud. So I think he's a PhD in something, which is cool, which means that he did a lot of research and that it means that, he knows what he's talking about. Now, one thing about this book that's really cool is that it was very much a religious perspective. Now, the topics were not religious, but he uses a lot of religion to make his points, to come across as someone who has very much credibility, not only because of his research but because it was actually in scripture, or is actually advice that was passed down ever since the Bible and before. So it is a very Christian perspective, so keep that in mind if you're going to pick up the book, that religious perspective is very much just a Christian perspective. However, knowing when to put boundaries is something that's very, very important. So how does he do this? He basically explains it that through stories. So people who weren't putting enough boundaries and then they ended up putting boundaries and it changed their life in a certain way. And what's cool about this book is that you get to understand certain experiences and perspectives of humans that are really still going through things that just ruined everything, and they didn't realize it. And they probably racked their brains for solutions. They probably tried different things, and these stories are really, really rough, right? Like abuse and struggle, trauma, all this stuff. And we kind of find out that is by setting a boundary, changing something, saying no to something, or realizing that something needed to change, that things actually ended up getting better. So if you're interested in picking up the book, I'm going to put the link around this video. You can go pick it up and you will probably enjoy it if you are either struggling with boundaries or you want to know if you could improve your social organization, or you want to make sure that in the future, you don't get caught up in these things by setting your boundaries now and setting the expectations in your relationships, so you can save yourself a lot of heartache. So I hope you enjoyed this book recommendation. Again, you could just pick it up by clicking the link around this video, and I will see you in the next recommendation next week. Thanks for watching.